Hi, I'm Sean. This is the project that me and lots of other people work on called Pion. First off, I want to thank everyone who's contributed, and I encourage everyone involved out here to contribute. These 70-some people are what makes this project so powerful. Pion is an open source VoIP RTC community. As you can see, there's a lot of different technologies. So to implement WebRTC, we had to do some of these foundational technologies. But if you're out there building other interesting things, all of these things are available. This isn't C-Go, this is all 100% in Go, and these are foundational technologies like DTLS that we should expect for building any kind of distributed system. And it's owned by a diverse community. This isn't software that some corporation's throwing over the wall. This is something that's owned by all these startups, open source projects, hobbyists. There's no benevolent dictator for life. If you get a PR merged, you then have a commit bit. So everyone here has an equal voice. We have, a large number of contributors, and we have maybe like 5 to 7 active. So what is WebRTC? If you've never built something before, it really comes down, if you build your first thing, you can notice you can connect 2 peers to each other, and you can send an arbitrary, unlimited amount of media or data streams. You can send your webcam, a desktop capture, you could send some text messages, and the ordering of those is however you want it to be. It's designed to be flexible and for high performance. If you're building a game, for example, you want to allow out-of-order packets because you need that sub-second latency. And the same thing for video. You can't have something that stutters. It needs to be sub 200 milliseconds latency. And then here's one of the next powerful things, is the fact that it's peer-to-peer. So I can talk to someone else on a completely different network. I don't need to be on the same LAN. The first one you think about is you're building conferencing software. You both want to be on your home network and talk to each other. But consider this for building large distributed systems. It's a big single point of failure to have some big expensive pub sub Redis node in the middle. You should be having your servers talk to each other. If that single point goes down, everything comes down. Think about how you can redesign systems to have your servers talk to each other. A little blip in the middle wouldn't be noticeable at all. Mandatory encryption, this is something that's in the standard. And write once everywhere. Thanks to Go, you can target all of these things. With one Go code base, you can deploy to mobile, servers, embedded, everywhere else. So, and the WebRTC API that you already know and love. If you don't know WebRTC, you can learn it once, write it everywhere. We try to implement, it's a nice RFC so that if you write it in C++, if you write Go, if you write JavaScript, you can use it anywhere. So, what can you build? This is one. Is someone built a command line conferencing. Who's tired of having to start X11 to talk to someone else? They have this nice little static binary that you can download just via curl and execute. It was made by the team at Dialup, and then you can talk to someone else. This works on Linux, it works on FreeBSD, it works everywhere. It's a super cool project, so go, and this is a great company you should go check out. The next is WebTTY. So you're probably familiar with sharing your console, but these are 2 people that are sharing console over the internet with no server in the middle. Sure, you can be encrypted in the middle, but you still know what's passing through that server. Don't trust some arbitrary third-party service. This is 2 sessions that are directly connected to each other. So the other thing is you don't even need to be going through the internet. If you're in the same data center, you don't have to have a jump box anymore. You can have 2 servers talking directly to each other. You can help someone over the internet. You can do lots of interesting things. Here's one I built. So if you're familiar with GoCV, I have a webcam that I'm sending to a backend and doing analysis and then sending forward. So if you want to build your own server, let's say you want to build a home security system, you have all the technology you need right now. You can just set up a browser and start sending frames to some backend in AWS and start analyzing them and doing whatever you want. This is all in 80 lines of Go, and it's in our examples. Here's one that someone built, is a cloud gaming service. So we have a lot of it coming out now, but this is completely open source, one single static binary. You can play any video game that you want in the cloud. This is important because you have the ability to own your software. You're not renting a game from someone. You can spin up an instance and via your browser play whatever you want. This plays it all on the back end. You can throw it in Wine or something else like that and then send the frames back to your browser. And you capture the key events, send them there. So this is something that you could easily spin up. There's not anything you have to install. And then one that recently is Snowflake. If you're familiar with Tor, it's censorship circumvention. And Tor is doing it so that if you live in a country that has open access to the internet, you can share your internet via WebRTC. So with this technology and with what we have, you can spin up just in a browser extension and give anyone access. And then also you can spin up a little WebRTC node on the back end as a server thanks to Pion. And then there's other projects like IPFS, and there's a lot of large commercial companies that are using. But this gives you a little oversight into how flexible and how many different things people are building right now. So take some of these ideas and think about what you can build. And the most important part is the community. This isn't like this isn't something that I'm making any money off of, or there's other people that are building products, but it's just built by everyone coming together. So that link right there will take you right into the Gopher Slack that we're in the Pion channel. And we'd love to have people join and talk to us and tell us about what you're building. And we'd love to help you build things. We want everyone's feedback. You know, if you're a small company, if you're trying to just build a hobbyist project, we love this diverse feedback. And you don't have to just talk about Pion. We want you to come in and talk about anything that interests you. And we also are working on this Pion knowledge base. And we want to document all of this deep knowledge. If you've ever used WebRTC, everyone likes talking about these high-level surface APIs. We want to tell you about the deep technology. We want to have great diagrams and explain how SCTP and how DTLS works. This isn't black magic. We believe that if we give people the information, that they'd love to learn about it and more. So thank you very much. We'd love to have you come join us, and thank you.